the amount of effort that's necessary, and I will go out there to determine if you have a case. If there's any question in your mind, then you should give me a call, and you should let me take the opportunity and the time, at obviously no cost or charge to you, to determine if there is something there above and beyond workers' compensation that I can help you with. Well, this was the father of a 1.5-year-old who was working in the family business when a piece released from a lathe went through a guard that was supposed to protect him, struck him in the head and killed him. And I had to go meet with a wife who was 8.5 months pregnant at the time. And we were able to litigate this in federal court and get a result in the significant 7 figures that ultimately not only provided stability, financial and emotional for this family, but also justified the fact that this machine wouldn't harm anyone ever again. And I think that was probably the most touching and the most rewarding case that I had. It can be daunting to the client, it can be daunting to an attorney who doesn't know what they're doing. I mean, in many cases where I have initiated claims against companies like that, I'll walk into proceedings in court and there will be myself and my client and 7 attorneys on the other side. And unless you are fairly well established in the field, your opponents know that you mean business, and you're comfortable and knowledgeable in what you're doing, it can not only be daunting, it can potentially be threatening to the case. So the companies that we go against try to overwhelm us, but I believe that as long as your attorney has confidence and your attorney has the capability to do it, that'll translate to your client. There is A law that says that they cannot fire you for bringing a claim against them, but B, I find that most companies appreciate the fact that you bring poor or shoddy work practices to their attention. The best example is I represented a gentleman a while ago against a company, a large aluminum company here in Cleveland, and he lost his arm as a result of something the company was doing wrong. And we sued the company, and we were able to collect a substantial amount of money for them. And upon the termination of the suit, he was afraid he was going to be fired. But instead, they made him safety director of that division of the company. And he's been serving in that position for approximately 20 years now, and has prevented probably hundreds of accidents in that role. When you're hurt at work, everyone automatically assumes, well, I've got a comp claim, a workers' comp claim, and that's it. That's clearly not the case. There are hundreds of instances where I have looked at files for people who thought they had just a workers' compensation claim and found that I was able to provide them with a significant amount of compensation above workers' compensation. Experience in handling these types of claims, who has a knowledge of the various types of claims that can be handled from an industrial accident, and who's willing to go out to the scene and actually take a look at you and the claim and the circumstances to figure out whether there's anything there. If they believe they can bully you, if they believe that they can run you over, if they believe they can, what we call in the business, paper you to death, then they'll do that. If they know that those tactics won't defeat you, and you've actually refuted or beaten down those tactics in the past, they're more likely to be serious with you, and they're more likely to resolve the case with you.